Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of TV It's All We've Got. I'm Lauren Denikian, and I am joined yet again by my dad.
Yes, George Denikian, and it's 2022, episode
2022.
2. Is that right?
No, it's episode 3.
Oh, is it episode 3? I just
We've
love
already-
2. I just love to say 2.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of fun, actually.
It was.
It was.
It was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
As was watching this show that you've asked me to watch. I've got to say,
Netflix's very own Don't Look Up.
it's an amazing indictment on so much that we are seeing and living with. Conspiracy theories, people who don't believe mainstream media or don't believe anything because they've got the news in their hand or in their pocket or on their iPad or on their phone. Everybody now is free to think whatever they like. And that's a pretty scary thing.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous
Oh,
position for us all to be in,
Well,
isn't it?
I was just going to say, when I started a long, long time ago, before you were born, there was no internet. The only thing that gave you the news of the day, other than radio, newspapers, was television. And they all sort of played a part. The papers would break the news in a certain way and give you all the facts because they used to love filling the newsprint. The radio station actually broke the news and took you to where it was happening. And then, of course, along came television and put it all together.
Yeah.
See? But this is crazy times. And Don't Look Up. Wow. That's, it's all of the above. And it's got a bullet cast, a quality cast that, you'd find in some of the best cinema ever made.
Yeah.
Just to watch Meryl Streep.
I know. We always wanted her as a president of America, but maybe not necessarily this Meryl Streep.
Yeah. Look, it's a cast of thousands in some respect. Jennifer Lawrence is fantastic. Leonardo DiCaprio oscillates between...
Is Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio sort of oscillates between this doofy college professor to the biggest hunk on the planet because he said nothing but looked okay.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Lawrence, oh, by the way, one of the stars of Dune features in Don't Look Up.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, and Chalamet does a terrific job of being a godlike.
Can we
loving...
just address Kate Blanchett for a second?
Oh my God, that's the best. That's the best, sexiest Kate Blanchett I've ever seen.
So I've been a big fan of hers for a very, very long time.
So is a whole bunch of other people.
Well, the thing is, I saw a preview and did not even register. And they're like, and starring Kate Blanchett. And I'm like, where's Kate Blanchett?
Yeah.
And then she came on screen and I was like,
Brie.
No.
She's Brie. Wow.
She's amazing.
Wow. She's a composite.
She must have had so much fun playing that role.
Well, and that's the whole thing. She would have had an absolute blast. It's a bit like Meryl Streep. She would have had a blast playing this doofy, Dumbo, sex-ridden Madam President. Whoa. And then you got this composite amalgam of Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Bill Gates, and who's the other one? Bezos from Amazon.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. And they've managed to squeeze them all together and go like this and go, check it out. This is our guy. And he's like dopey, super dopey. And whatever you do, promise me you will not turn off the movie until the very last credits.
Oh,
because in the best traditions of Marvel, there's another 3 or 4 or 5 scenes that are just worth the wait.
So Don't Look Up, for people that haven't seen it, is about these two scientists that find out that a comet is coming to Earth.
Yes, it's an extinction.
And
It's an extinction event, but
yeah,
don't say too much more,
no, I
other
won't.
than you will not believe how the world, this new world order of ours, takes the information. And you're
Actually, you know what?
right.
Maybe they will.
No, Kate Blanchett, and that other guy, her co-anchor, they
Yeah.
nail that show called what is it, Rip It Up or something? Oh, it's just
I can't remember what it
it's
was, but it
well,
was
they are
Tyler
terrific.
Perry.
He's the
Mm.
one that actually hates his ex-wife, and if the comet lands, it's going to hit her on
Yeah,
because on their house, the one that he paid for. And I'm
yeah,
thinking, mate, you haven't got it. If it hits Earth and hits your home, there won't be any Earth left.
yeah,
Anyway, you've got to watch
yeah,
it to see how it
yeah.
morphs, how it moves, how it seems to want to explain itself, and then it can't.
Doesn't. Yeah.
Um,
I I was kind of halfway through watching it when I asked you to watch it. And I really didn't know how I felt about it when
uh-huh.
I was watching it,
Uh-huh.
because I think it's the type of humor that I can appreciate at times, but I really have to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, no, I had that feeling about the shtick, the style.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's like, how do you explain it to
Would it
people?
be a parody? I don't really know if that's kind of the right
Uh,
term.
the more I think about it, it borders on a satire, but
Yeah, I
it's
think satire
edgier
is what
and
I'm thinking
darker
of.
and more painful than that.
Yeah.
And it threatens to be too real to believe. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's why I was kind of on the fence about it, because when I was watching it, I'm like, this is all happening right now. It's not necessarily a comet, but this is quite possibly the biggest. I mean, there's obviously the biggest thing we're ever going to experience in our lifetime.
For the moment,
Right.
it is the
So,
biggest thing you and I have
yeah.
had to ever face. We
Yeah.
were not in a war. We haven't
No.
been in a major catastrophe, thankfully.
Yeah.
I would have thought that there are people who have lived through September 11, and that would have
Of
been
course.
quite shattering.
Yeah.
Would have taken a huge toll on them, and probably
Hmm.
still does in some ways, because
Hmm.
when you have something that sears through your memory banks and through your life, and takes away things that are seriously precious to you,
Yeah.
you don't forget those sorts of things. So,
No.
but you're right. It doesn't have to be a comet. Yeah.
Mm.
It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be a comet. In the movie,
Yeah.
it's a comet.
It's a very interesting movie in that it raises a lot of points. And I don't just mean socially, politically.
No, no.
Um, it definitely looks to the human part of us.
Yeah,
And,
very good.
you know, if you didn't have that long, what would you do? What wrongs would you right? And it really does force humanity to take a look at themselves. So I think in that aspect, it's a really, really interesting watch. I just won't go back and watch it on the regular.
Yeah, I hope the media is watching.
Yeah.
I hope the
I
media is
think there's
watching.
been enough hype. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It
I mean, you
has
need
some
that all-star
powerful.
cast.
Yeah, look, it has a tremendous cast, and they all do a tremendous job at focusing our thoughts on a host of
Mm.
different topics that all
Mm.
matter.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought it was a movie I was going to say, make sure you watch it, but I
Yeah.
am going to do that. I'm going to say,
Yeah.
get a chance, get onto Netflix. It's just another winning platform for them,
Mm.
and you'll enjoy Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, our
I even
favorite
enjoyed
Kate
Jonah Hill.
Blanchett. Sorry.
I even enjoyed Jonah Hill
Oh, yeah.
with his little handbag.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Oh, yeah.
I was
And
convinced.
and make sure you watch it to the bitter end, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. But just like his relationship with Jennifer Lawrence's character, I think was really, really interesting to watch that kind of back and forth. I live for that. I really, really do. I think it was a great thing to add.
And did you like
Yeah.
the general who went into
Yes.
the green room to get some food
Yeah.
and water and drink?
Don't
He
spoil it.
charged them. Sorry. Got to say,
But
can't
I
help
love how
myself.
that
Can't
that
help
was the
myself.
one thing. That was the one thing that Jennifer's character was angry about. After everything else that happened to her.
If you think
that
about
was
it,
the one thing she was
I
still
was going to
thinking
say,
about.
if you think about it, she was deep and spiritual. Even when she met young Timothy, later in the movie, she's still talking about that guy and how they'd been dudded by a general in Washington in the White House. Oh, it's like, yeah. Oh, look, it's very clever.
Yes, see, that's what I mean. Like, you've kind of got to find the humor in your own way with this movie.
Yeah.
I think, for some people, they'll just get it straight away and they'll laugh at all the offhand jokes. But for me, I kind of had to find my own fun. Yeah.
I just think it's the best Kate Blanchett, sexy, rocky news anchor I've ever seen.
Yeah. I was just like gobsmacked.
Do you think it was the wig?
Yeah, I think that hairstyle really.
Because there's no prosthetics. There may be, there might be teeth. I don't know.
Yeah, I think teeth maybe.
It's very clever.
And they really, really contoured her cheekbones. Like they were up. They were very, very high. But she looked stunning.
Oh yeah. I
mean, performance.
She
amazing,
moved mountains and moved some people. Yeah, very, very interesting portrayal. Yeah, got my attention.
And Ariana Grande as well, I think.
Oh God, I was going to say to you, how pretty is she?
Yeah.
What a lovely voice, and what a skanky character she plays.
Yeah.
She's no, you got to see it. I don't want.
And she sings.
Oh,
if anybody's a fan of Ariana Grande, she sings.
Yeah, she sings.
It's great.
And she sings very, very well.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's great.
Yeah.
What else?
You asked me to watch a TV show on Amazon this week called The Expanse.
Yes, it's called The Expanse.
Was that a weird coincidence that you asked me to watch that because they just seemed a little too similar? Or was it because once I said don't look up, you were like, The Expanse?
Well, I'm into detail, don't you? And I thought you were going to rock my world with Don't Look Up. I thought I was going to rock your world with The Expanse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what did you make of it?
Okay. So I finished season 2.
Yep.
Okay. So
it's up
clearly
to season 5. We've just seen season 5.
Okay. All right. So a bit like Wheel of Time in that you really have to focus on the characters.
Oh, yeah.
To get to know them and which side they're on, right? So in terms of premise, this is a sci-fi. We're not 100% sure of when it's set, right? We don't have a certain
It's
time.
into the future because we're talking about worlds where people are moving from planets and systems and wormholes and all that sort of stuff. It's not
so
quite,
people are living on Mars.
Yeah, it's not quite Star Trek, but that's right. You're absolutely right. Mars has become a base. In fact, it's the nation of power. It's Mars for war. Remember? In Roman times, and Mars is the planet that's the military planet where all the smart ideas come from. So very, very interesting play on how they do that.
Yeah. So you've got Mars and you've got Earth, who are always against each other. Even though they're trying to keep the peace. Yeah. And then you have the Belters.
The people who live in the belt, who live on these artificial satellite stations. It's like the International Earth Station, except many times bigger, many times larger. They've never been born on Earth. So they were born there. Born in space. They don't know grass. They don't know parks. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, they're like the workers because
Mm.
they're expected to do all the sort of grunt work.
Yeah.
And they live in close proximity. They don't live two in a house. They might live 10 or 11 or 12 in a house. And
Mm.
of course, what happens? They're living in poverty, and they're always
Mm.
treated as second, third, or fourth class citizens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes like a civil war needs to break
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So you get to meet all these characters
Yeah.
that live in these places. I guess we can just say first season, the main focus is about a cop who is looking for a girl that has been lost. And that is probably where I'll leave it in terms of premise.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what you can imagine is that with all these different elements coming
Yeah.
into it, there is so much that can happen, and it does.
And it
so,
does it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just when you think you know where it's going, it scoots off that way.
Yeah.
I've got to
Yeah.
say, what people may not readily understand is The Expanse was originally picked up by another of the streaming networks, and then it was picked up by Amazon. And there's a suggestion at the end of this season whether it stays and there's another one with Amazon, or whether it goes, or whether it's finished. So we'll have to find out.
Right. Okay.
But it's already survived one sort of era over the last 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is to make them. But yeah, it's clever. It's pretty clever.
Yeah.
And,
well, it is based on a book.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Stephen
I
Strait.
That.
Do you like Stephen Strait?
Oh, I like Stephen Strait.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. No, thank you very much, Dad. It's always easy to watch a TV show when you're attracted to one of the leading actors.
That's normally why they do it.
Yeah. Damn it. Yep. I really didn't want to like him, but then just, the introduction to him, the very, very first time you see this man, he's having sex elevated.
Yep.
In no gravity.
Correct.
And I'm like, Dad, because that's early on.
Yeah.
In like the first episode. I'm like, what
but
is
you've
that
got to make
sure.
You've got to make sure you know how fit he is.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I definitely know. I know how fit he is.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you worry.
Oh, yeah.
I've definitely done a YouTube stalk.
Yeah, you were paying attention and you stopped it.
I was focusing very, very hard on Stephen Strait. No.
Right. Thank you.
Look, there's a whole lot of characters.
Too much information for your father. Thank you.
Look, there's a lot of characters that you can fall for in this series. I thought it would be Jay Hernandez, but as far as I'm concerned, he did not get enough airtime. But again, it's only season 1 and 2. He might come back. Don't know. What is it about it that you just enjoy? Like enough to keep you invested for 5 seasons?
I always like characters and the development of the characters and their relationships and how they fit in. Then you wonder, where in heaven's name is this story going? What's the point of it?
Yeah.
I like watching how we evolve, because as I've learned in my life, things that were once upon a time science fiction are now science fact. So I watch and see how they treat so many of the things that they do. And I wonder if that's where we will go with some of the items. Many, many years ago, when I was a young kid, I was reading a comic. The comic was Dick Tracy, and he had this phone on his wrist, which was, ooh. We all have now phones on our wrist, don't we?
Well, I don't, but some of us do.
A lot of people have embraced this.
Yeah.
And there's the game component where, look, I'm an early adopter. It shows you I'm an early adopter. Yeah. There are so many things we tell people with what we wear and how we wear it and what we use. Like I'm an Android person. I'm an Apple person. And that's like, it's like a mission statement. You tell everyone this is what or who I am, and my belief structure is all here.
Well, it's similar in the show as well, right? Because each person from their home is very easily identifiable. Although admittedly, you only really see the high status people of Earth. So
Did you notice that
I
some
mean,
of the
you do.
Martians sound New Zealand-like?
Yeah. Yes. And one of the guys in season 2 was Australian.
Yep.
Well, that's something that we can talk about because this cast is very diverse,
Yes.
which also makes it really interesting. There's a whole range of people of different backgrounds, different.
Tats.
I think what I'm trying to say is that there's all these people that are so scared of what might happen in the future
Yep.
that all they can really do is rely on each other to get each other through it.
Correct.
And these are people that have had wars against each other and don't have any other option but, the person on the other side. So it's a really, really interesting look at humanity and how it changes.
And the TV series actually goes a long way to showcasing diversity in a way that we haven't seen before. And I mean this, and I mean this properly. I mean this correctly. Please don't misunderstand me. There are an awful lot of people that aren't pretty. So it fits reality. There are people there of all persuasions, all colors, all flavors, and they all have, keen roles. And it's not just the pretty ones that are the good ones. The villains aren't all ugly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in fact, one of the villains that you haven't got to yet, you'll find is a seriously handsome guy. But enough of that. I don't want you to go out on the limb just
Am I
yet.
Cheat on Stephen Straight with my eyes.
Oh God.
Look,
trying to speak.
There
to
are
her
a lot
about
of
Stephen
strong
Straight.
women.
Yeah, there are
a lot of strong female characters in this TV series, and one of my favorites. Can you guess?
Stephen Straight's girlfriend.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that's a given. But I also really, really love Christian.
Yes. Very good.
Avasarala.
Oh, she is fantastic.
She's great.
And
good.
Isn't she Iranian?
I don't know, actually.
Persian
Let's
or
look
Iranian?
into this.
Yeah. She is
Iranian American.
Yeah. What a great voice.
Oh, she's stunning.
Is there a female with a huskier voice than her?
I just Googled how old she is. She's 69.
Well, hey, what can I tell you? In America, ageism is not a problem. It's only a problem in young Australia.
Well, I'm just looking. A lot of this cast is older.
Very much older.
It's really interesting, actually.
Correct.
I mean, obviously, I paid attention to it when I was watching, but now that you can actually see their ages, it's like, wow, damn. Wow. That's really cool.
Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
It's so good.
Do you like Wes? Do you like Wes?
Yeah.
He's a good character.
Yeah, he's a good character.
Yeah. You can't work him out early on. He actually grows and gets better.
Yeah. I can see that happening in season 2, definitely.
Yeah. And wait for 3, 4, and 5. You'll see the full flavor.
Yeah, I think I will keep watching it because I do enjoy. I'm curious.
Good word.
At one point I thought I had something figured out, and it didn't happen the way I thought it was going to happen. And I was like, "Am I all wrong? Did I get this whole thing wrong?"
They were my words in the opening episode of Game of Thrones. I thought, what are they doing here? Who are they killing? Oh my God.
Okay. So there was a line in this which had me laughing so hard because I'm like, okay, here we go. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, go for it.
The war is coming. I'm like, oh my God. The Game of Thrones is happening in deep space.
Deep space. It's not winter, but the war.
It's not.
Coming.
It's the war.
Yeah.
It's the war. And something else that I entertained myself with, they have these moon boots. That click into place when if you want to, stay.
If you need some friction
on the ground.
Yes.
But what makes me laugh?
Yep.
Is that they have sound effects for them every time they walk.
Hey, listen.
So
Hey, listen. The attention to detail is what makes it a little better than some of the things we've seen before. Okay.
It was so funny because they're having a serious conversation about how they're going to attack this jet. And then they're like, tick, tick. I wish I could do it. Oh my God, it's great. It's so great. Every time it happens, I laugh. Oh, see, I keep myself entertained.
I was going to say, this is probably the one episode that we've done over the last year and a half where my daughter has simply lost it. She's just in that fabulous zone, carefree, beaten back, exhausted by all the rubbish going on around us. She's just letting it rip.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, right?
Correct.
At this stage, we've all been isolated for so long, working from home and trying to just stay away from people. You got to make your own fun somehow.
Correct. So if you want to see another episode or more, our glossary, our whole library of TV, it's all we've got. It's available, isn't it?
Anywhere that you stream your podcasts.
There you go.
So if you like us, tell your friends, tell your family. And don't forget to like us on Instagram or
that makes a huge difference.
Or
on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
That's very important. Insta, get involved.
Subscribe.
Even Apple.
Subscribe.
TV. Yeah. It's all we've got.
It is. So what have you got for me next week, Dad?
That is so, so good that you asked me, because deep down, I thought to myself, will I challenge her?
Mm-hmm.
Will I take her to somewhere she's never been, where it's really uncomfortable? Or will I give her something, within the realms of what she likes?
Mm-hmm.
And will that be it? So I thought to myself, you haven't watched The Witcher yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Well, you're going to.
Okay,
because
cool.
Witcher 2 has landed.
Has dropped, yeah.
So take it out now, girl. Witcher.
Okay.
And
good.
Let me tell you,
Henry
Cavill, if you thought Stephen Strait was good, wait till you see Henry
Cavill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So that's what I've got for you. What have you got for me?
So there's something that has just dropped on Netflix. Season 2 of it actually has just dropped. And I would like you to watch. Let's start at season 1 and see how far you get in. But it's called Cheer.
What's
and
it
it's
called?
A documentary. Cheer. It's a documentary about cheerleaders.
Cheer. CHEER.
Yes.
And it's on Netflix, is it?
It's on Netflix.
Okay, let me break your heart now.
Have you seen it?
No, but I'm just going to make you feel, like, oh my God, another gem from my father that I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
Back in, I think it was 2013, 2014, 2015, somewhere there, I took 35 Australians on a tour of America.
Yeah.
And we went to Lenox in Dallas, and I was like their host.
Cool.
And I also went to the home of the Cowboys, which is a fantastic stadium. And we went into all the big corporate boxes and got shown around while the World Series of Cheerleaders was going on in the middle of the stadium. And they had cheerleading Olympics going on, and we just watched with interest. So I've already broken the ice. So it's called Cheer, is it? It's a documentary.
It's called Cheer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I bet it's intense.
It is. It's full on. It's full on.
I'll give it my full commitment.
Yeah. Well, I'll be watching season 2 because I haven't watched it yet. So I'll be watching season 2 of that and Witcher this week.
Okay. So go for it, girl.
Yeah, no plans for me.
No plans for you. Okay. Well, stay safe, my darling. Catch you next week
too.
When you get through your first season of The Witcher.
Okay. Bye, Dad.
Ciao, baby.